Hello, today I'm going to show you a whiteboard animation that will help you get a clear understanding of the insider risk management. Insider risk management, or IRM, by itself does not actively monitor anything. Even if you configure the IRM settings, it won't automatically start monitoring. It remains dormant and silent until IRM policies are put in place to initiate monitoring. Meanwhile, potential rogue insiders could be quietly stealing your data without detection. The driving force behind the insider risk management is the IRM policy. The policy specifies what IRM needs to monitor and define the conditions that will trigger alerts. Without these policies, no alerts are generated to detect risks, and without alerts, no cases can be initiated to investigate potential insider threats. Okay, now I'm going to show you how it all works together. Before we discuss the policy, it's important to understand the IRM settings, which apply to the entire IRM solution. Some of the settings include detection group, which are used to detect user activity around specific SharePoint sites or sensitive info types. Global exclusions. Same groups as the above, but in this case you're excluding those groups. Policy indicators such as office indicators, device indicators, or risky browsing indicators. Priority user groups if you need to monitor specific users. Privacy. This setting will keep the usernames anonymized or pseudonymized within the IRM. IRM policy cannot exist without a policy template. Policy template would have predefined triggering events and detection options. Policy needs to be configured, and here are some of the properties. Policy template. You cannot even create a policy without first selecting a template. Then you will define whether you want your policy target specific audience, which content to prioritize, such as a SharePoint site or sensitive info type. We then select triggering events and indicators and detection options. When you create the policy, IRM will evaluate it. If it finds the issue with the policy, it will show you a warning or a recommendation. In that case, you will have to fix all of the issues. If IRM does not detect any issues with the policy, the status of the policy will be marked as healthy. The IRM policy will be watching for triggering events that you define. As soon as the policy is triggered, IRM generates alerts. These alerts will have the following information: risk factors, content detected. You can also use Activity Explorer and user activity with the scatter plot. IRM can send the alerts to the IRM analyst. The analyst can also view all of the alerts in the IRM next time they log into the portal. Initially, when the alerts are generated, they would have a needs review status. The analyst can dismiss the alert, but if they find it needs to be investigated, they will confirm the alert and create the case. Note that you can see settings such as a risk factor, Activity Explorer, etc. from either the case or the alert itself. After the case is created, IRM admin can assign investigators to this case. Investigators can resolve the case or escalate for investigation, which would normally happen if there is indeed a strong indication of nefarious activity. Escalation of the case leads to creation of the e-discovery IRM case. IRM case investigators do not have access to the case created in e-discovery. E-discovery managers will be the ones taking care of the e-discovery IRM case. Now that you see the entire picture, note notifications in the IRM settings. These settings will determine who and how is notified when the alerts are generated. In the privacy settings, anonymization of the username is enabled by default, and this will mean that when the alerts are generated, nobody, including IRM admin, would be able to see the actual username who is under investigation. I hope this video helped you to understand how IRM works. In the future videos, I will be demonstrating setting up IRM using global settings and explaining policy templates.